Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is 3:35 a.m. My wife's out of town. When the cat's away, the mice will play. And I'm taking care of Maggie by myself. Maggie is, of course, my dog, if you don't know. I've had a recent complaint about the microphone. And it's actually a pretty legitimate complaint. I didn't notice it before. I don't know why, but you could tell now it sounds okay, right? And actually, this is why I'm wearing the headphones today, because I'm monitoring the microphone. But see, when I get back a little bit, it actually, the sound goes away. And I think it might be the setting is off here, so maybe I accidentally changed the setting. Is this better now? Hello, hello. This is even worse, isn't it? Hello, hello, hello. Is this better? Maybe this is what I should have had it on. Maybe I accidentally... yeah, that seems to be better. I think the setting was off. I just realized. Yay. Okay, so... anywho, yeah, I've, we did a 2.5 Oyajis on my channel tonight. It was my turn. If you don't know what that is, well, just go check my channel, the last video. And we usually have a guest on every week. And next week will be Hiko Simon's turn. But anyway, we had a guy today, Tyler the Foreigner 1. And, he started a channel with 2 subscribers. And I was, I saw a couple of his videos and I thought, this he's okay. He's pretty well spoken. And he can tell a story. He's just as good as anybody else. Except his camera's kind of shitty quality, right? And I was under the impression that our video would blow him up and turn him into 100 subs or something, which often does happen on my videos, but not with him. It didn't work. He got 6 subs. So thank you, those 6 people who listened to our advice. To be fair, he was a bit, I think, nervous, and the Valentine's Day present. He was a bit nervous, and yeah, that's it. Anyway. And anyway, I probably could have prepared a little bit better, as in I prepared some more specific and honed answers. But anyway, I wasn't the great promoter that I like to think of myself. I am a great promoter. I like this t-shirt, by the way. Yeah, a right-wing type of t-shirt. But anyway, I wanted to just talk real quickly about, and without mentioning any names, about some weird stuff that's been happening. A little bit about people I've met in Japan here, and you've seen some of them. Sometimes I have them on my channel as guests. But there was a guy here who he came over and he walked into the school one day, and I was in the middle of a class. And I'm not going to mention his name in case you're watching, man. In case you're like, oh no, he's going to talk about me. He walked into the school, and I was in a class, and my manager, the school manager, knocks on the door and says, are you expecting anyone? Your friend's here. And I'm like, no. And I come outside, and he's pretty tall, lanky, a young guy. And I say, well, I'm in the middle of a class now. You can wait in the waiting room if you want. We have a waiting room. He says, okay. But later I found out that when he walked in, he didn't say anything, identify himself or anything. He just said, I think I don't remember. I don't remember the story exactly, but it was a bit odd. It wasn't I think he just said Victor. Where's Victor or something. He didn't say hello, my name is, or anything. And my manager afterwards told me, she said, that was weird, and she ended up making a lesson on, she does all the lessons for Maggie Sensei, and she said, she made a lesson on what you should do when you visit a Japanese home. But it was inspired by his sudden approach, because, yeah, we've had a couple foreigners come to the school, and some of them are quite good friends of mine, but they don't know how to treat Japanese. They almost treat the Japanese as if they didn't exist. And it's, I don't want to say it's racist, but it's a little inconsiderate, If if you come, first of all, don't come to my school without calling. I'm busy, man. You can't just walk in, you know. It's okay, you know. You've seen my videos. I've met so many of you without ever seeing you beforehand, right? It's not like I'm a elitist or anything. A lot of you have said, "Hey, I want to meet you," and quite often, to be honest, quite reluctantly, I've said, not to say I'm a great guy, but often quite reluctantly, I thought, oh, okay. I mean, that is the reason I started making YouTube videos, is to communicate with you guys, but it would be nice to get a heads up, you know, and it would be nice if I knew what you looked like. Like if you make videos, I'm much more apt to meet you than if you don't make videos, just so you know. But anyway, the guy walks in, and anyway, I get out 45 minutes later, and the first thing I think of is, I don't really know this guy at all, and I don't remember communicating with him, but maybe I had. Actually, even now, I don't remember. I think I was emailing. I think he emailed me. Not that I was emailing random people, hey, come meet me. But he anyway, I thought I better get him out of the school ASAP. So I did. Got him out of the school ASAP. And I walked him down to Oskanen, and actually we had a nice talk. We had a nice talk. It was a chilly day. And anyway, ends up the guy's had quite a bit of bad luck for various reasons here in Japan. He got in with a company who didn't promise him something, didn't give him what they promised exactly, and he's stuck out in a little town about an hour out of Japan, Nagoya now, and I feel bad for the guy. And he's a young guy. And after talking, he was very, besides being a little socially awkward, he was like, look, man, I can do this for you and I can do that for you, and I just want to be helpful, right? So if you need any help with editing, because he's apparently a very good editor. But in the end, it's not working out for him. And this has happened with a couple friends here. Not exactly friends, but people I've met. Another guy online keeps contacting me. He got fired, he got sent to a new school, he got a new job, and he got fired again. And I've never met the guy. I don't know how he found my Line. I don't know if you guys know about this app called Line. And he keeps emailing me, Not a lot. I mean, now he seems to be okay, but yeah, kind of weird. And I don't know, it makes me wonder, like, what kind of people just can't make it here in Japan? I don't know, but a lot of people out there say, oh, any loser can make it, right? And even I sometimes have that, have had that feeling. No, any idiot can teach English, right? Yeah, I mean, up to a point. I mean, personally, I'm pretty good. I mean, I put a lot of thought in my lessons and stuff. But I mean, there's a certain type of English teacher that you can be that doesn't require that much, except just a native ability to speak your native tongue or English fluently. That's it. And the proper, visa. Hopefully you come from America, Canada, England, New Zealand, Australia, or South Africa, and that's it. You're qualified, basically. Or did I say England, Ireland, Scotland? All those countries are fine too. But it isn't that hard to get that kind of job. If you want to be a good teacher, that's another matter. And people actually have asked me that as well. But I don't know why. And that reminds me of the Kobe meetup last year. There was a guy who was there who came. I got stuck in this weird conversation with him, and you ever get stuck with a conversation with someone that it feels too awkward to leave it, even though you're at a party. It just feels awkward to walk away, like you're just being a jerk if you do. And I got stuck in this conversation with this guy, And the truth was, he had really bad body odor. And he was complaining about the fact that he couldn't seem to make friends, etc., with Japanese, or he didn't like the way he was being treated generally. And I was thinking to myself, it's because you kind of stink, man. And it wasn't like it wasn't even, I don't think it was like sweat body odor. It was like, obviously it was whatever he was eating. And I don't remember his background, but I think he was like Middle Eastern or Indian or something from that area, part of the world. But he kind of smelled like curry or something, you know. What is that noise? You hear that buzzing? What is that? It's because I'm wearing these headphones. I can hear everything now. I don't even know if I'm really actually speaking too softly, but I didn't have the guts to tell him, you know, dude, it's because you're probably eating too much curry every day. And a couple of weeks ago, I was on the subway and I sat down. I walked in, you know, kind of looking at my iPhone or my book or something. I don't remember, but I sit down on one end of the long, you know, whatever seat, you know, the long seat they have. And almost immediately I smell curry, and I look to my right, and there's this guy just sitting there. It's a foreigner, and he stinks like curry. And not that there's anything wrong with it. I love curry. There's nothing really wrong with it, but I don't think you should smell like food. And I wondered if he had trouble making friends in Japan. This is a blog about nothing. It just, I guess the thing I'm not worried at all. I'm just wondering about is why some people can't seem to make it here, you know. And sometimes I think it's not necessarily the country. It's just that they just have problems, you know. Social, drug, food, smell problems. They just have problems, and the funny thing is, there are a lot of assholes here as well who do make it. They're fine, but they're kind of assholes. I know this one guy who, well, I don't know him anymore. I think he's gone. I haven't seen him for years, but there was this one Aussie guy who used to pick fights with everyone. He was always picking fights with people. And and he knew, he was one of these guys who studied all these martial arts, and he was a big guy. And it was like the first time I met him, the first thing he said to me is your Japanese sucks, you know. It was weird. It's like he was one of these guys who was very competitive about, and always criticizing other foreigners, and always, bossing, you know, using his size to do whatever the fuck he wanted in Japan. He was one of those assholes. You know, it was, I mean, he was always flipping someone over, you know, using his martial arts skills and judo, whatever the hell he studied. And he was such an asshole, but he was successful. You know, I didn't get it. I know another guy here who, I think it's pretty obvious to almost everyone except him. Is that proper English? It's pretty obvious to everyone. But he seems to be clueless about it. But this guy is the kind of guy who gets in fights all the time. He's always seems to be getting in some fight with a Japanese person, and he's a big guy. He's a really big guy, the kind of guy you wouldn't want to screw with. But he seems to think it's always, you know, the Japanese person's fault, and he kind of blames them. And it just seems crazy to me that he can get in so much trouble, kind of, but not, and still be successful. He does pretty well. I think he's actually been married a couple of times and got a bunch of girlfriends. You know, so I mean, socially he does well, but you know, obviously there's something wrong. So, you know, and then there's of course other people who do fine, who do great. Now there's something else that I don't know. I think I've touched upon this before in the past, but I'm an extremely social guy, but I go back and forth. Like I go through cycles, depending on what has happened in my life. But there are times when I'm really social. I know everybody, and there's times like when I just kind of don't have any friends, which it's a bit extreme to say that, but yeah, I kind of don't have any real friends right now in Nagoya. Most of them have left. And that's one of the things about living in Japan for a long time that you see is you have a lot of good friends and they often leave, as that's the normal thing to do. You come here for a few years and you leave. And a lot of them have left. Or I've had some Japanese friends too, and some of them have they've moved away. They've been Tenkin is transferred to other places, or one of them had kind of a mental breakdown. But yeah, in the end, it's just me and my wife basically. But at the same time, that's kind of the way my mom and dad are. I mean, they go out with people sometimes, but mostly it's just them. And when I was a kid, I used to think that was weird. Like, mom and dad have no friends. Because I had a bunch of friends, right? But now that I'm, a little bit older, I'm quite happy with me and my wife and my dog. And occasionally, I'll meet, some new people. Or someone will, send me a message on YouTube saying, dude, I want to meet you and buy you a beer. And I'll go out and meet them. Yeah, so human contact and interaction and all that and socialization, I think, is very important to create a normal, healthy, human being. But I don't know if you need that many good friends. Anyway, I do feel like I like people and stuff, and I feel like I'm getting off the subject of this point. What's the point? This is just one of those long rambling blogs. I should have mentioned that in the beginning of this video. This is one of those videos you don't have to listen to. It's just a laundry vlog. So that's it for tonight. I guess I'll go to sleep. By the way, I just did a video for I did the 2.5 Oyajis tonight, and I did a video for gimmeabreakman promoting the 2014 Hanami. So if you get to the end of this video, please mention the Hanami in some way. Hanami, of course, means flower viewing. It's going to be April 5th and 6th in Yoyogi Park. And Tokyo Kuni is no longer in the country, so he has handed over the reins. It's not a secret or anything. He's handed over the reins of the party to TKYO-Sam, and we're trying to, get a lot of people involved this year. So if you are free, whether you are a video vlogger or just a viewer, please come out and meet us on April 5th. April 5th will be the main party. April 6th might be, I don't know, like a brunch or a hangover party, whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to bed now. Luckily, I don't have work till late tomorrow, so I'm taking it easy. Anyhow, talk to you guys soon. Good night.